Alright, what's going on, everybody? I'm back again today. Just bringing you another kind of comic book review. Not really a comic book, though. If you've been paying attention to my channel recently, I've really kind of taken a liking to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. This is a new kind of like fandom that I've been kind of getting into. I've been buying a lot of the comic books, watching the cartoons, and collecting the figures. If I go ahead and just kind of like pan over to my shelf here, you can see. Actually, you can't. Well, there they are, right there. That's my Masters of the Universe Classics collection that I have so far. But today we're going to be looking at the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Character Guide and World Compendium. And essentially, this is the Masters of the Universe Encyclopedia. It also contains everything pertaining to She-Ra and the Princess of Power. And this is like the starter book that I would recommend for anyone trying to get into He-Man and the Masters of the Universe because it gives you everything. So it's also just got fabulous artwork, to be honest with you. So it's got a bunch of like introductions, credits, stuff like that, forward and stuff like that. And then it also has a table of contents in here somewhere. There it is. And it shows you that, let's see here, Chapter 1 is all about characters, Chapter 2 is beast, creatures, and monsters, Chapter 3 is factions, organizations, species, and races, artifacts, devices, and weapons is Chapter 4, spells and magic is Chapter 5, Chapter 6 is locations, and Chapter 7 is vehicles and transportation. And when I say character guide, they are not kidding. It is absolutely every character in alphabetical order from A to Z, and then not only does it show like it's not just one singular bio for every character. Like for example, this one only has one bio, but if you look closely here, it shows that this is its bio for the 2012 DC Masters of the Universe comics. And that's because that's the only iteration of Masters of the Universe that this character appears in. If you go to a more popular character like Adora, who is also She-Ra, you see we've got her Filmation animated series bio, Filmation animated Christmas special bio, Princess of Power mini comics bio, Masters of the Universe Classics, the canon for the toys bio, and then my personal favorite canon for this character is the 2012 DC Masters of the Universe Classics. So it doesn't just give you one overall generic little paragraph about the character, it gives you everything from every different iteration of the character since its Masters of the Universe inception in the 1980s. So this is a great guidebook. A lot of the characters in here, they're from some iterations of Masters of the Universe that you're probably never going to watch or read unless you really dive deep into it. And a lot of these characters are not memorable. Like Airbag, he's from, he only exists in the Masters of the Universe Classics toy line, apparently. This guy, Alcon, he's a character in the New Adventures of He-Man animated series, which is the He-Man in Space series. Like, who the hell knows who Alcon is? Nobody. He's not that important. And you can kind of tell that the guide does prioritize by character. The more important the character is, the more information they have, and the more pages of the guide are based on. Like, this guy, Anti-He-Man, he's just got his one paragraph. You get over here to Beastman. This whole page is Beastman. This whole page is Beastman. And then it's finally back to something new. So there's also a lot of stuff in here you might be interested to find out. For instance, there were a lot of characters in the live-action He-Man film that people thought were just made up for that movie. Turns out they actually have some basis in the comics. But who knew, But this is a really great book. It's a great guidebook, and it also gives you, like I said, it gives you a taste of each different canon, from the Filmation series to like the 2000X series to the DC comics to the Masters of the Universe Classics line. And I gotta be honest, reading the bios for the Masters of the Universe Classics line, that's probably my favorite canon for Masters of the Universe. It just sucks because there's so little of it that's available in like a story narrative form. Most of it is just this. It's the character bios that were like on the box of the toy of the character, and then there were like I think 8 total mini comics that came with that toy line. Other than that, though, like there's no long running comic book series that tells the classics continuity. There's no animated TV show that tells the classics continuity. It's just stuff like in here. And to be honest, this book is really the only way to get it. And it's kind of a pain because you got to go through character by character and read what their shit was all about in that continuity and whatnot. But I still really enjoyed this book. I've been reading it I got it about like a month ago, and I've still been reading it, finding new interesting characters that I did not think I was going to like, and then I read more about them and I realize I do like them. And because of that, I've also decided, like, I've added more of the figures to my list to collect for my collection. So it's a nice guidebook, and it's a good start off to anyone trying to get into Masters of the Universe. It's going to give you an idea of who the characters are, who the major players are, who the major villains are. There's the star of the show, He-Man. And yeah, and you can also, like I said, you can kind of select which canon you really want to get into. Like if you read his bio for the mini comics, then you're like, oh, I kind of like that. I'm gonna go buy the mini comics. And then there's actually a mini comics compendium that goes along with this book that you can also buy. I'll be doing a separate video on that. But let's say you get over here, you like his Filmation animated series bio. Okay, so now you know you probably want to watch the Filmation series. Or, you know, maybe for some reason you like what it said about him in the live action movie. So you're like, I'm going to check out the live action movie. It's a good way to get you started into the world of Masters of the Universe. I really like this book, and I recommend it for anyone who is a huge Masters of the Universe fan, and also people who are just trying to get into it. So yeah, that's my take on that. You got the like Eternia artwork on the front, 5 different versions of He-Man, He-Man Battle Cat. I would kind of wish that, like, for the front cover they hadn't chose Battle Armor, He-Man, and Skeletor, because that's not really their, like, definitive iconic look. I wish they would have gone with just, like, a normal one. But on the back we get the badass Masters of the Universe Classics Castle Grayskull box artwork. So that's pretty cool. It says the universe of He-Man and She-Ra is full of mystery, and thanks to over 4,000 entries covering its characters, beasts, vehicles, locations, weapons, and magic, you can learn all of its secrets. This is the most comprehensive He-Man and She-Ra guide ever published, converting all things Masters of the Universe and Princess of Power, covering all things Masters of the Universe and Princess of Power from 1982 through today. So it's published by Dark Horse. The only problem is you're probably not going to find this at, like, most of your generic comic book stores. You may find it at, like, a Barnes and Noble or something like that, but otherwise you're going to just have to order it offline. But like I said, anyone who is a huge fan or trying to be a fan, I definitely recommend you pick this up. So yeah, that's my take on the Masters of the Universe Encyclopedia, otherwise known as Character Guide and World Compendium. Let me know what you guys think. Leave some comments below. Give the video a like if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you like, and I will see you guys next time.